So I will call the honourable member Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dulcere decorum est. Mr. Chair, it is fitting and proper that every good New Zealander opposes Part 1 of this Government Communications Security Bureau and related legislation amendment bill, because what it is doing is legalising John Key's practice of having his secret police spy on law-abiding New Zealanders. So where are the hopes and dreams of our forefathers who died, who fought in world wars for future generations in the hope that we may live in a democratic society? Sir, where are our hopes and dreams that we would live in a democratic society when this government will allow secret police to spy on law-abiding New Zealanders? Where is democracy, sir? New Zealand is turning into a police state. We only need to have a look at the Dominion this morning, and the call has gone up by the police. No drinking after a certain time. That's it. What's ever happened to education, sir? What's ever happened to this government actually, instead of cutting money from the police, putting money into the police so that we don't have these draconian type measures? So this is a step back in time. We've seen the SS, we've seen the KGB, and now we have John Key's secret spy police. Sir, people jump to conclusions, and words can be twisted, and actions can be misinterpreted and guided with evil intent, sir. And as someone who has been spied on, as someone who has had their telephone records leaked and used with evil and libelous intent, I feel I'm qualified, more than qualified, to speak on this. And I can confirm it is a violation in the extreme, sir. And actually, even if we deviate a little and we look at what has happened with Fonterra, sir, where that has been twisted and turned, has anybody in the world died? No. Has anybody in the world been violently ill? No. Fonterra were open in their administration. They found something that could possibly cause an illness, and they let the world know. But those who would twist and turned it have twisted and turned it, sir, and now we have a situation where New Zealand's reputation is at stake and all New Zealanders want to have a say. And I look forward to when we have a good informed debate on this, and let's take a look at what happens to Fonterra in a few weeks' time. And I hope sanity prevails, sir. But when I think about democratic rights, and all over New Zealand in other areas, this government is trampling on New Zealanders' democratic rights. And we need to look no further, sir, than Snapper. Here we have the police state, and they're going to say that no, New Zealanders can't even have the democratic right to feed their family, sir. It's absolutely appalling. Mr. Speaker, I turn now to SOP 327 in my name, which amends Clause 6 within Part 1. And now, while the bill is odious, I will propose and support measures which might strengthen it. As reported from the Statutory Committee, a new Section 8CA would be inserted into, and I quote, provide for a set of principles that would underpin the performance of the Bureau's functions. It sounds good, but the wording is essentially, sir, a window dressing. So to add some meaning to the wording, two amendments are needed. The first adds a new subsection E, which says that the GCSB must act subject to effective, thorough and genuine oversight. Now, at first blush, government members might think that is a little different from, that it is little different from subclause D, which says the GCSB must act in a manner that facilitates oversight. But there is a difference. The existing wording, must act to facilitate oversight, does not require that there will actually be oversight. My new subsection E does add that requirement, so I think it is appropriate to seek the support of the House for that. The second change, sir, is to turn around the subsequent subsection, new subsection 8CA, brackets 2, as reported from the Statutory Committee. This says that the principles underpinning the performance of the Bureau's functions do not impose any particular duties on the Bureau and its people. Mr Chair.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Chairman, because I know that you're going to be asked a particular question now, I would just like to seek an assurance from you and to point out to you that I think the first 3.5, I'd accept that the first 3.5 minutes of the last speech was not strictly on part 1 of the bill, but Mr Speaker, I would like to point out that the member has not had the opportunity to debate Fonterra and other issues because he doesn't get in the urgent debates or the general debates, and to give a little bit more leniency for irrelevancy in this particular case, because if you look at it carefully, Mr Chairman, I think it would be unfair if after the last 2 substantive contributions, which were both on the technical detail of the bill and adding new material, it would not be fair to the House if having a member who doesn't normally get an opportunity to contribute in the other matters slightly muddied the water. It wouldn't be fair on other members if we lost the opportunity to continue the strong, direct, substantive and important debate.
Speaking to the point of order, the Honourable Tim McIndoe.
The member is an independent member. He has had 5 minutes, which is more than you would normally expect for somebody in his particular circumstances. It is up to him to speak directly to the bill from the outset, and the House should never set the precedent of allowing people to continue for longer because the first 3.5 minutes of a speech were irrelevant.
Speaking for the Premier, I was in no way advocating for a further 5 minutes for the member. In fact, I think it would almost plead for it not to happen. But, Mr Speaker, the point that I was making is that other members should not be penalised by his irrelevancy.
Point of order.
The Honourable Member Tim
Mr.
McIndoe.
Chair, opposition members have now, on their own, had more than 2 hours debating this particular part. That's notwithstanding any calls on this side of the House. It's been already 2 hours and a bit.
Well, can I thank the members for their contribution. I had considered whether I should call the member again, but I decided not to. I call the Honourable Member Tim McIndoe.
I move that the question be now put.
I'm very tempted, but I'm going to hear someone who hasn't spoken in this debate yet, Megan Woods.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.